in the future we might not be aware of really need to be. But I stand for, and I will still stand for, is that where I preside over kids, where I get a colleague like who now comes into Chulaimbo as a supervisor, then I say, we come from game with him, you are with him here, now I compromise him, but Mr. Boy, can you find the time? So most fundamentally, a few things, gentlemen, the learner today is not you when you went to school. It's who got 4.9 but was selected. So she was like, I tried to learn, it was my dream school. Somebody with a lower marks is going. We had to go and request. So maybe we made a mistake by requesting. Yeah? But that is what is there. But our parents, Mr. Goy left here when we were struggling with our parents to give us 1,000 shillings so that we can do anything extra which other schools also do. Mr. Goy, we are still struggling, not coming. But when you'll be talking about how other schools get, my friend from Masen, this is here, I tell your colleagues, how do you do it in Masen? Then you compare. How far away are we in terms of the resource at hand for us to get what we want compared to? Because fundamentally the government usually puts us at a disadvantage because I think if we just compare with Marcelo, we excuse me for using Marcelo severally, we share a market. Our suppliers are more or less the same. But because Marcelo has is national by title, we are extra county, even we pay different body fee. But do you buy special made different from the one we buy? It's the same thing. So at times you find we are not. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are sitting here today, your deliberations, and what you will finally come up with to guide your operations, which will show how the linkage between you and our board operates, is very key and important to us. Let me just, as I summarize, show you where I'm saying the students, they are 20. This is what we have for our sub-county. This is not just for Chulaimbo, but the sub-county. Last year, 2023 KCSE. Let me start from below. In Kisumu West sub-county, we had a total of 4,117 students who sat for KCSE. Out of this, 37 DC, those were. Then now those who sat, 159 got grade E. Yeah? So you try thinking those days when you were numbers looking like that, generally when you look at the summative. Then 602 got B minus. Then 709 got D plane. 634 got B plus. 543 got C minus. 439 got C plane. 313 got C plus. 231 got B minus. 179 got B plane. 135 got B plus. 134 got A minus. And 35 got A plane. Then look at the A minus. They were 134. Where did they come from? For A minus, 127 came from Masini. It's like the Masini school that actually even gave our sub-county something that we can be proud of. So 127 Masini school, 1 Sinolo girls, 6 Chulaimbo boys, and that is the end of the school. Then A plane 1, 35, all of them were from Masini school. So the students we have, the tragedy is not only here, but it is even in other schools around. So parents need to rethink how do they support their school? How do they come in so that at least our schools can come out? Otherwise, sorry for taking my time, but I wanted to use that kind of a picture so that as we discuss, at least you can have a rough picture of how Chulaimbo is struggling in the background of how is actually even the sub-county struggling. Then as we move forward, we identify specific areas that we can intervene and we make us better. Otherwise, thank you. Feel most welcome. Thank you very much. The Chief Principal, Mr. John Oguayo, my friend, the Deputy, Mr. Kwemba, isn't it? Colleagues, the old boys. Is it afternoon already? Yes. Good afternoon. Yeah, I don't want to take much time, but I wanted a segment where we can make just a quick introduction so that the principal can know us and actually what we're doing, and then we can release him as we embark on our activities. I think that's better, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. Otherwise, yes, Robert. Our chief principal, your deputy, fellow colleagues, alumni, and our current chair. I was supposed to have consulted this, not in the plenary like now I'm doing. But I want to request indulgence of the big office here. If, as the principal, we just got an invitation as the principal, having made the principal and the deputy, having made very pertinent statements, those are not statements that can just go. In meetings that have been, once such a statement is made, there is a need to have a bit of a review before we leave. Because I was not expecting that as our program. But the good thing we did, it is the core, the bedrock of why we are alumni, and that's why we come here to do something. So I just wanted to express that indulgence, not a compulsory one, but with. Thank you, my captain. When I was in high school here, I was about captain. Members, don't we endorse that? Maybe you can give it some 30 minutes or so reaction, correct? Yeah, at least before the chief principal leaves. Then it means we may not have to introduce ourselves formally as I thought. But when you are talking, please let members know you. Yes, I am Honorable Edwin Ogudagore. Honorable comes with the fact that I want a vibe for a political seat where I come from in Simon. And then academicians who are here, like Dr. Juranos, it's not very easy to get a PhD. I'm still struggling in mind. 6 years down the line, hopefully I will get it soon. That's why normally I write a PhD card. I mean, you wonder, what is this kind of thing? Otherwise, I'm very no good at all. I come from Ssaa. I'm a cohort of 87. I'm the chairman of this group, one of principal. Now, in that case, therefore, I think that we can give the joint very fast before the principal leaves. Then we can now go to the nitty-gritty of what brought us here, right? So how do you begin? Robert, you want to begin us? You want to start? Okay. Thank you. When you are inspired, like when you are in a church, you come out and confess your sin. That's what the principal has made me to think. And he should not leave as we enter into our core business today without him feeling a bit of how did they fail? How did these old boys fail? That is very important. And I'm one of them who I want to say how I felt. By introduction, I'm Robert Ndoko. Robert Ndoko came into this school in 1983 and left
courts who are here, Robert Odokoth had the opportunity to be a prefect throughout in this school until I became the head boy as we were living in Form 456. I thank God for that. I'm not proud of, I'm not priding, I'm just recognizing. I'm proud of this school. But what hits that pride of mine is that coming to this school formally, a big formal coming to this school is just today. The other time I came here, I was just being a student. That's the other time I came here. That is why even when we've been discussing, talking about alumni, it is something very close to my heart. I'm not contesting any post, but it is very close to my heart because I know what alumni can do. What's Robert Okoth doing? Courtesy of Chulaimbo. Courtesy of Chulaimbo, I'm a government officer. I've worked for the government for the last 30 years. As I talk now, I'm a deputy director dealing with state policy issues. When the principal was talking here, I was feeling how the government has changed. And I've been in that government, central government. I've courtesy of Chulaimbo. I've been a district something in Isiolo. I've been a district something in Tarakaniti. I'm now at headquarters. I've had the opportunity to represent this country outside in Uganda as commercial attorney the other day before I came back here. Courtesy of Chulaimbo. Chulaimbo has shaped me because there is no other basic school I went to. From 1 to Form 4, from 5 and Form 6 in Abondo, then to the university, then to the government. I've been in that government up to now. I want to say that, as I'm saying that, the principal and his deputy should know that these people, including our court standing here, are proud of this school. We are proud of this school. I'm personally proud of this school. But if there is an issue, like the ones he has touched on, the best that he should expect from us, how can we collaborate to address these issues? They are not cast on stone. And we are in this country. We are senior people in this country. We know what is happening. 100% transition as a policy, and as somebody who is grounded in policy. By the way, I'm grounded in policy. I've done my master's in policy. That is a policy change must be embraced. 100% transition is to make Kenya better. I was in South Korea for 2 years. Everybody goes to university. But in our system before, there is somebody who cannot go to school by courtesy of our system. But the way we change and embrace these changes and implement them is the big issue. And I want to say this, principal, and your deputy, and your big team, your 50-something team, be aware that what this team is going to transact, if I'm one of them, I'm going to plead so much that we support this team, as stakeholders who have gone out there, with children who have gone to school. We've taken children to school. So even when you are talking to us, you're talking to the converted. But what I don't maybe feel comfortable with is as if, is it the status quo? And what must have triggered this one principle? Because I'm a member of this team for a long time. There were certain conversations which were going on when these people were complaining about the performance. And I've seen you come out trying to show that Chulaimbo is not unique. Yes, it is not unique. I'm the chair of the board young in the secondary school, which we started the other day. It is pathetic. And I'm the chair there. I can't decide. Those boys must be molded to shape their lives. The quality is what? It depends on where you stand from. Quality is, there's an English word I'm missing here. The quality is subjective. It depends on quality from where. But when it comes to the life of a student that has been entrusted with you, you will do your best as a teacher. As the teaching staff, do your best. Everybody will see that this one came in this grade, lakini tumeongeza hii. It cannot be perfect. But what has happened outside the other side? That was not our debate today. But I know we were going to touch it, that academics, whatever we are doing here, the end result should be academics. So when a principal, wherever you are, in your backyard, know that the team that is coming here to launch something, to start doing something, we'll do it on your behalf, for your interest, and the interest perpetually for the people who are to come. I have no words. But our students need to be molded so that they come out and become like Robert Ndoko. At the end of it, it's the life of a student you're shaping. That's what the rejoinder I wanted to add in this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing that.
Thank you, but I will guide this session. We move very fast. If we allow most of us to talk, then at minimum, bare minimum, no, bare maximum 2 minutes. Is that okay? Do you agree, House? Do you agree? So the next speaker? Yes. Oh, yes, move to the rejoinder. So then he's representing all of us. Thank you. Okay, thank you. It's unanimous, eh? All right. Thank you. Then, in that case, Senior, is there anything? No, I think you take it later. If you have something that the principal need to hear, sorry, this is the time for us to talk about.
Makosir Frederick, or Fred Makosir, class of 82 to 85. So I think there's only one who is an elder here apart from me. Yes, Robert, what you said is very nice. I didn't want to talk now, but Malimu, since you'll be leaving us, I just want to put a request across, which is an extension of what you just said. My focus is academics. Of course, you need infrastructure and everything, but my focus is academics. I would send my son here. Unfortunately, they are all done with this level, but I would send them here to get me better grades than what I got here during my time. Our time, the school was worse than what it is today, infrastructurally. You can remember, I touched a bit about it earlier. We didn't have the facilities you have today. We didn't have maybe the number of teachers you have today, but maybe the quality was different. I don't know. We had a different way of working also as students. We were celebrating in our suffering academically. And in our group, maybe others will deny, but I think my year, we put Chulaimbo at a national level. I was one of them who tried that. And there was no secret. It's hard work and support from teachers. So what I'll request from you since you're leaving is that we are going to deliberate on many things. We will be punchy sometimes. I am known for that. Me, I don't hide. But we will be punchy in a way of supporting you and your team to support our brothers so that they achieve. By that I mean I'm requesting you that when we come down to talk to you and your office, I hope you will receive us with the same open arms so that we can learn to know each other so well. And also with your professional side, you will help us to chart the way for our young brothers here. That's all I'm requesting. I'm putting in the open so that we tumekubaliana tukitoka hapa. When I come back alone, I say I'm from the alumni, you will still open the office. Thank you very much, Malimu.
I think we can give the school a better class. Without wasting much time, I also want to echo what the other alumni have said concerning the school. Principal, rest assured that we have the best interest of this school at heart. That's why we are today gathered here, sparing our time to deliberate. We'll support you the much we can, as you have heard from our seniors. And we also want to thank you for the warm welcome you've given us. You are our parent right now here. You are our father here. I would like to do a very quick introduction, cohort-wise, because it is very, very important. And once you are, I call you a cohort, and you are a cohort leader among us, you cross and sit to the other side. We want to recognize the presence of our cohort leader. So I will start with our senior most cohort. We will stand, all members of this cohort will stand and wave to us, and if the leaders are there, kindly, you cross over to the other side, where you will introduce yourself again maybe later. Cohort 80 to 90, wako wapi? 80 to 90. Hey, let's clap for our senior. Cohort leaders among them, kindly sit to the other side. 91 to 2000. 91 2000, wave to us. The leaders crossed over. 2000 to 2004 to Coapi. Can we appreciate them? If there's a leader among us, crossed over. 2005 to 2009. And let's clap for them. Very good. The leaders among us, the other side. 2010 to 2014 cohort. Very good. Let's appreciate them. If a leader is there, let's cross over to the other side. That's our 10th. 2015 to 2019, wako wapi? So let's appreciate for them. And our junior, not junior, but the youngest cohort around 2020 to 2023. Yes, very much appreciated. I'm very happy that all the cohorts are represented. So that's a good one. Very good. Now, we're going straight away to the Constitution review, our first most significant agenda for today. You are in front of you, you are the MC for our nation, a member of court 91 to 2000. I actually exited the school in 97. All those who are coming late, our tea break has happened, but we still have the tea there. I want to release our principal to go for other duties. Yeah, principal, before you leave, the only thing that I was not so happy about, but a story for another day, is that things became too messy a little bit, isn't it? Right? There was no way we were going to ban this school. But that was the information outside, correct? Mwalimu, how do I come to Chulaimbo to ban this? What I brought, what I did, I think that was a misinformation. Personally, I was being followed by the DCI. But they called me. I don't know how. Then I thought that now this has become political. It's academic. Really, what we wanted is academic, isn't it? The way Robert has brought it. And I think that element should come clearly. There was no way the police was going to be calling here to bar all the boys from entering the school. No, that was not the case. And I think the misinformation was uncalled for. But please let this be the new beginning. Sindio? Tumekubaliana, sindio? Clap for that. Well, I want to say that, as I mentioned, I can say if there are people who can say they have been seasoned, I'm one of the seasoned guys in administration. That's why, if I were not, I wouldn't have even posted you today. Yeah. And also remind all of us, the internet never forgets. Yeah. As he has been, I didn't want to mention because I'd allowed it to go, being what I am and what I've gone through in other places. But because he has mentioned, I want you to say, internet never forgets. And because you transacted what you are transacting in the internet, it will take you a bit of time to wrap it up. It's not in my heart, but it is in the internet. If it were in my heart, I would have posted it. But me, I'm free because you did not, except though the name John Otieno Ogwai was, it would have been just Principal Chulaimbo. But it went personal, but I still allowed that one to do. So, when I go, I do not have any issue. Because, by the way, I'm transitioning. You will never change to be alumni of another school. You remain here. Unfortunately for Guadalsir and Moses, they are the closest even to the school. Apart from being alumni, you will have to stay. Yeah? So, I know I'm not an alumni of Ambira Boys, but I can say we are doing better than you. Thank you. Ingeni kanyo nyaka buk maler. Yeah, budu chunyo konyo ne. e chunyo ka de gonye je puonj kon ai mi lam na di police ni giri yo kata idwe tuwe ya kitwe ne ke kadwaro ndo skulo papa je puonj ne okuyo ya koro ina awaron to ngano manene ocho bangla gi DCI te dwa tuwe ya ka kumbewa kora paro ni tumo olosore kendo amao now we can release him. Thank you so much. I think, yeah, he will govern it, isn't it? Thank you. Anyone just share some Thank you so much. I want to say this. Like, can we now move to the next segment of the conclusion, right? So that we move fast. Yeah, can you see there is...
Chair, usisahau na introduction.
Oh, introduction?
Yes.
Okay, quickly. Yes.
Yeah, very important for all of us.
Like I was saying, the key is still there. Those who came late, you serve yourself quietly, sit with your tea there as we continue. Court leaders introduction. I'll give you people this to just introduce yourselves. Eh?
Thank you very much, MC. Good afternoon. I'm Olango Caleb. I land here in 206. I started from 203 to 206. I'm currently serving as a teacher at my school.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilson. I was here the year 96, 99. So I look younger than my age. I was deputy librarian, but I was my senior. I finished school and straight away I went and I got married. So I am a father. I am a contractor. So if you come around, you know, dispensary, that is my work. Maseno 80 poultry house, that is my work. I'm having some work at Chulaimbo. So I'm Kijama doing and team of contract and supplies. Thank you very much.
To my colleagues and my fellow schoolmates, I'm Amimo Goe Joseph. I was a teacher at Chulaimbo after my studies. Then I then transferred to Dagokuko, where I'm now acting with people. The cohort year 2000, I joined in 1998 to 2001.
To all the alumni, good afternoon. My name is Morgan Okungo. I was here from 2014 to 2017. I represent the court 2015-2019, and our chairman is not there. Standing for him on the pressure of the group. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Otieno Lango, the vice chair cohort 2000 to 2003, and currently I'm a student at Masinde Mugira, taking bachelor in commerce 20.
Good afternoon. My name is David Oso. I was here between 204 to 207. I'm in cohort 205 to 209. Currently, I'm an hotelier, work for hospitality industry. I work at Stella Resort as a credit controller. Asante.
Anyway, introduction as a court. Not my children 1982, 99. I left the United Sister Castellan. And I think this is I'm a civil servant. Amor Kanimuka. In the more say, Nigima Okuse was a team those many years. Kawunan, turning of the light. And I want to wish our young leaders, all the young court members, Timuru Umbrella Mali, serious one. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Chris Oyange. I exited Chulaimbo Boys in 98, and I'm the secretary for cohort, the same cohort, being chaired by Mr. Nation. Currently, I'm also acting as your vice secretary general. I'm also vying at you.
Let's clap for the cohort leader. Yeah. Well, before I allow the introduction to end, would want now to introduce myself. I'm National Rao, chairman, cohort 91 to 2000. I was also the chairman for the planning committee for this day to be what it is today. Very quickly, I would like to introduce the committee members to just say their wave at you, say their name. Yeah? Because of time. Yeah. Oh, because of time, you'll bear with us. Members, I've just waved. Ssaa, we may not take time to say all our names. We're already behind schedule. I would just want to introduce the planning committee. Members of the planning committee, just come in front very fast. Cleophas, David, Chris,
Slide.
Pastor, or Bishop is not here. Kindly.
I will introduce myself to Parker.
Well, I will just give them briefly to say what they were doing.
Good afternoon once again. I'm part of the committee. I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity and for you who have turned up for this day. We hope everything will be fine up to the end. Thank you.
Afternoon once again. I am part of the committee, AGM planning committee, and allow me to admit that the talk was easy for us. Dealing with such a massive crowd, I find it becomes so. I think all of us, most of us, are very busy people. So getting some information to get us plan has been so challenging, but here we are. Thank you.
My name is Christopher once more. I was a committee member. Thank you very much.
Well, my name is Rao Nation. My name is Rao Nation. I was the chairperson, and I know why I'm giving him the last chance. He's my senior. So I will have told Cleophas to remain standing because I was his father. When we were back in Chulaimbo, he was brought into my hands. A quick clap for Cleophas. We worked in the library because of my bookworm nature. I was made the librarian from Form 3 all the way to Form 4, and Cleophas was working under me as assistant librarian. We did our best during that time, and I believe part of being the librarian, Mwalimu knows, Mwalimu kuja kidogo, Mr. Kombo. And we appreciate this great teacher of ours. He was my teacher, English, and if you look at us, I don't speak bad English. He molded me into whom I am today, but for being part of this team. Good afternoon, esteemed gentlemen and alumni. Indeed, I'm happy to be back here again. I was alumni of 1983, and then I also had the opportunity to come back later as a teacher from 1997 to 2010. And many of the alumni members between 97 to 2010 passed through my hands, and I'm quite happy for them. I must not forget the outgoing chair, Abwana Edwin, for the so far that you have brought us. We really say thank you very much. Abwana Robert, thank you so much for your being very bold to tell the principal you are mine. I think that was quite good. Instead of backbiting, when we face somebody on the face, I think that is a strong trait in you so much. And everybody, thank you so much. My prayer is that elections are quite emotive. I want to say that we shall conduct the election in a very peaceful atmosphere. Thank you very much. While as we wind up that session, I want to say as a planning team, it has not been very easy, like Chris said. We had to do a lot of sacrifice, our time online, we had to keep on interacting. I have been coming here physically to oversee and to supervise how things are going on. Some of it have been updating on the wall. And with your cooperation and guidance, I think this day is going to be a success. All we are asking, I'm echoing Molimo's sentiments. Our elections must remain peaceful and organized when we will come to that. Because that was the pillar under which the principal agreed to host us. We had to promise that we are going to remain as peaceful and organized for up to the end of this session. That's how. Yes. So I'm going to give Mr. Osir here the last chance. He's also going to take us to the next phase, which is the constitutional review. He's just going to combine the two now.
Wow, that's a good one. For those who arrived late, I'm still Fred Makosir, and I would carry. You know, what is the law? And I know the law in it now. You know, what we do? Because I'm going to get up on my bed. I'm not going to sleep. Right. English, the man, the movie, Modo, Gami Jaka. So I think you know, oh, for a money, I buy a lady. Let me speak English. Well, my name is Fred Makosir. As I said already, I was here from 82 to 85. We excelled very well, so some of us reminded me today, and I'm very proud of that. I haven't forgot. My home is just down here, like less than a half a kilometer down, and fortunately or unfortunately, this block up here, I've not been seeing it for like 6 months, so I'm struggling. I live outside the country, in an area. For those who have heard of Scandinavia, I am domiciled in Scandinavia, and I've been working with my committee team, the organizing team. Just imagine and it has not been easy. It's been a lot of communication online. I remember I was on transit in Africa airport, and I was kitu, and like you guys can write. You guys mukipatiwa WhatsApp right. You know, I had a flight journey of 17 hours total from where I started the journey. And every time I had a break kidogo, najaribu kuangalia hizi cohort. Hey, they are like 130 something within that 2 hours you left. Unaamka asubuhi, the same thing. Even today morning, the same thing. Then we said, let us be here by 9. And you know where I stay? Since the sun has not been there, to Ssaa. Where I stay, I've not seen the sun. I'm not kidding about this. From 15th of October, jua ilipotea. Itarudi tena end of this month, no, next month. And it's snowing, it's very cold. So what you do, time is money. Unaangalia saa, ukienda kulala, unaamka asubuhi saa moja, saa 12, you go to work. The darkness ends around 10 in the morning now, and then comes around 2 again. So ni saa. So I was looking at my watch. Wamesema tufike hapa saa 3. Mimi nimefika hapa saa 2:30. And I'm looking, where are these people? Sasa kuna jamaa amekuja hapo baadaye sema, namuuliza, ndio umefika? Bwana, kwani wewe jima mba matatu? And the matatu mtu ametoka hapa daraja 2, matatu gani? So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, going forward, let us use our platforms for the purposes that they're meant for. Let us engage, structurally. Mtu hii kutusiana tutatusiana. Tutatusiana tu, tunachongeana. Hao jana wanachongeana. Hao ndo mlambezi kwa mnyonyezi. But some of us here, I think we are beyond that level. Good, vile tumewapromise. And I can tell you, I represent so many organizations. I think I'm in chairs in about 7 or 8 organizations, including the chair of Kenyans in Europe. That's a very huge organization which unites all the 54 countries in Europe. I'm their president today, the leadership forum there. So we engage with so many people. You cannot keep reading 130, 40 on each. And I have to read each of them because I don't want kitu to miss. If I'm going to comment, I don't comment kitu kumbe nilikuwa nimejichoma. So let us engage like properly, and I believe since we are here, we feel good, and we want to do something really good here. I'm going to take you through the constitution. Na hii group, ukiambiwa jaribu kitu, ukisema tu umeshikwa. Mimi sio lawyer, but I said, Bwana Edwin, hii kitu, if you want to be serious, let us register this organization. And I'm fighting register this organization. Mpaka ukaniuliza, you go and look for how do we register? And you know, hey, yuko hapa tu, hapa Seme tu. And he tells me to go and look for how can we register an organization in Seme here. When me, I'm like 14,000 kilometers away. But I took the mantle and I looked for the papers and we started working on that. So now, once we endorse what we are going to do here, it will not be perfect. Let's go forward. Raka, we register this alumni organization, association. We start engaging structurally. Because hawa watu wanajua watu wengi wana pesa hapa, nimeona. Watu wa pesa wamejaa hapa. Hii pesa yenye we can start using it in a good way, you know, put it into something, we can start different things. So I believe that everybody has read the constitution. If not, step by step. Kama kuna mtu hajaisoma. Yeah, I actually sent it to the WhatsApp group here, Chulaimbo Alumni Association, where you all, those who have registered, have it. It's a draft, and this document, we picked it with my colleague, Anatol Washington, who is not here, and Ajita Otieng. I was going to ask him why he's using Otieng, but he's not here. He couldn't attend, so akanisukumia hii kitu. And me, I was only going to attend. So nikaona I had to change my journey because I'm supposed to be going somewhere. Nikaona we cannot be the constitution guys na hatuko wote. Hiyo itakuwa ni IBC mbaya. So for those who have not read it, iko kwa PDF kwa simu. For those who have not read it, you will still have a chance to read it because we have the paper version here and also the digital version. There are some parts that maybe we will require your engagement kabisa. Kuna section hatujafanya kazi vizuri. And I said, let's leave that aside because we have, and I have to make it very clear, as of today, as we are sitting here right now, there's nothing formally registered called Chulaimbo Alumni. So whoever is saying I paid my membership to Chulaimbo Alumni, we are anaongea mambo mengine. I am not privy. I've read people talk about kuna pesa ilichangwa to register alumni, kuna pesa ilichangwa sijui welfare. I'm not part of that. So the money that you paid that I am presenting the constitution for to be registered is a 300 ambayo tumelipa hii. Na tukimaliza hapa, I would also request those who know the other story, wamalize tuwapeni tutoke hapa kama tumeosha hiyo nyumba. Mimi sipeti bizo kuficha chini, tuoshe. Tutoke hapa tumemaliza na hiyo, but we are living here with the goal of registering the first ever official Chulaimbo Secondary School Alumni Association. And even that name is not is not final, because for those who know about the registrar, you have to send 3 names, proposals, then they will see which one is there. So, mtu asiende akaregister Chulaimbo Association leo usiku, please. We want that name. I know you. Yeah, I have a friend of mine, ukimwambia kitu kama yanda kwa web, ana block all those who .com.org, unakuja na kuambia lipa 100,000. Yes, so I don't know how you want me to do it, really. I will not read because we can all read. But the Chulaimbo Secondary Alumni Association Constitution has been proposed. There's a background. For those who I don't have to read for you, mtaona baadaye. I will go to the points, the sections which I think I need your engagement kabisa. The name of association, to suggest Chulaimbo Secondary Alumni Association, which from now on we'll be calling the association. And we are planning to be, our vision generally, is to be a vibrant alumni group, positively impacting the community because we are part of this community. We have a mission to pull our resources together for the school to support each other and the community around us based on our shared values. And then we have the 4 core values: the integrity, mutual respect, commitment, and focus. And by this, I'll just expound on it. Unajua, kuna decorum. Tukiongea kwa ile wall, kuna wakati mtu amesema kitu, Makosira amesema kitu, amechonga Ojuondo. wewe unajampia unacheka, kumbe you don't know what kind of relationship we have with you, and then it becomes one on one. Sisi wengine tushatoka tumekuacha hapo, unachapana mpaka yule okay, anaanza kuwachoma. Then akianza kuwachoma, unasikia huyu Edwin anakuja, ati sasa mfanya Edwin tunampatia yake kando kando. So let us just, this organization we are forming is not an individual's organization. Hiyo ni kitu moja. Mtu anaweza kusema hiyo kiti ya wakina Nixon, hiyo si chama ya wakina Chris, hapana. This is our home. Na ukiona kitu mbaya, sema. Tuseme kabisa, let's wash this house as early as possible. We have guiding principles, interactions, because we all nje, kuna watu wako Nairobi na nini, we will be using our WhatsApp groups or whichever platform they create to interact kabisa. So let's respect differing and divergent opinions. Our primary objective, wameweka hapa, the association's primary objectives are to foster unity among alumni, support the school's development, and engage in philanthropic activities for the betterment of education. Kwanza hapo ninawataka hapo kwa philanthropic. Mimi napenda football sana. Mpaka hapa human na club moja inaitwa Makosiri FC. Mkitoka hapa si mkuje mletea rambe huko. Hapo pia nishachoma, si ndio? Among our objectives kuna unity, support, philanthropy, which we divided in those groups. Mtu akitaka details ziko hapa zote. And then we have activities of how we are going to achieve those ones. Tumeweka pale pia, including CSRs, knowledge sharing. Among you here, kuna moja nimesikia yuko Ssaa. Who was that? My boss, eh? Sasa nikifika Ssaa, nakula tu naona. Nikifika kwa gamba anafanya hii. Nikifika sijui university Maseno nasema chukua hii. Mwalimu nakakuja kwako ofisi yako nasikia quality, si ndio? So, you know, among us here, we have everything we need and everybody we need. We use it, I can tell you, I mean, actually now this is the 5th, no, the 6th alumni team Nikonai. And all of them have something they want to achieve. Now, kwa mbele kitaka kitu nasema, any individual who has studied art or graduated from Chulaimbo Secondary School is eligible for membership. Nimesikia kuna mtu alitoka Ssaa anataka kuja kwa wewe ingi hata kama ni best friend wako. Now it is an extension of kupenda msipende ili kifanye kikia. It doesn't work like that. This is an association where you must pay membership to join. And membership is kuna moja inakuja kali. There are two of them where I need your serious understanding and indulgence. Ndazisoma hizo mbili because this can have a serious impact. Now part C of membership says, and remember this is a draft. Hii sisi watu wa constitutional team tumekuja na idea by the members yourselves. So we put it together, but there will be, that is C, there will be a grace period of 3 months for registration of members, starting on the 1st of March 2024, after which, remember the words I'm going to announce here, after which a penalty of 2,000 shillings will be imposed on members for late registration. This registration recurs annually. That means that every year from 1st of March, kutakuwa na hiyo space ya kuregister. How you will translate that into practicalities, hiyo ni ofisi na ninyi mtaamua. And then part D is also very important. And I will stop on this to maybe give you a few seconds more. Part D says there will be an annual membership subscription fee of 3,000 payable in full or installments by the 1st of June, paid through the association's designated bank account or paybill number. Why were these figures, the 3,000 figure was put up? We don't want to be an Arambe-based alumni. I have the closest one home is Moi University alumni. There we have a simple, we register with 1,500 and lazima uweke 6,000 every year. And that money is put in a money market. Those were in the banking sector, the finance, is put in a money marketing, something they call it, and it inaongezeka tu, you know. And if you have a little more, you can buy more shares because we also have a section that deals with shares. So I think this was the mind that somebody also brought in this. Can we have 2 seconds where you can comment on those two? Because those two, kitambo zipite zinaweza kuchoma. One is the penalty of 2,000 which will be imposed on members for late registration. Like now, if the treasurer says nimefunga leo 30th, ndio alisema. So it means whoever anakuja kesho, tukipitisha hii, itambidi alipe hiyo 2,000 extra on top of the 300. Kama ni mtu tayari ni alumni. Wale wanakuja wanamaliza this year, wakijoin next year, wanakuwa na hiyo window ya 1st of March. Can we engage a bit on this too? And then the other one is about the subscription of 3,000 shillings. Naona ndugu yangu, maybe ukuje huku uongee na hapa ndio wakusikie vizuri. Let's just try to make it short. I want to rush through this. The rest is not kazi ngumu. Kuna mmoja tu pia anakuja baadaye. Kuja. Na useme tu jina yako haraka na uchapue haraka maswali.
Thank you. My name is Teddy Ocheng. Teddy and also Ocheng because I know there's another Teddy Ocheng. I've come with my wife. She's called Honorable Kalechelule. She's sitting up at the back. She's the magistrate. Thank you. And so before I proceed, I finished in 2008. So I'm in the cohort of 2005 to 2009. So I want to first of all thank you, members, and appreciate the committee for even this opportunity to speak. We want to start. I've looked at the Constitution. I currently practice under Teddy and Company Advocate. I'm an advocate, and therefore I've had an opportunity of looking at it. I have several comments. I don't know whether those comments will come after or we'll do them once. I can just present them once now or wait for another opportunity because I've looked at the different sections which I have a challenge with. I take them once. Thank you. So I will start with the vision. I think for me, a vision is something that we look forward to. The vision from my reading is not a vision at all. Because it's saying positively impacting the community. What is that? So I believe we need to start engaging. What do we want to see as an association to this school? Do you want to see that it improves in terms of quality of education to match the national school? Do you want to see that the people who are coming from this school are able to interact with government officials and become the topmost students? You know, something. Let's rethink that vision. So that as we rethink the vision, we are now looking at the steps that we are taking as an alumni association. Are they towards achieving that particular vision? All right. So just positively impacting a community does not define the vision to be very specific. So I think we need to relook at that particular vision. Secondly, I will go to the membership. Now, I've read the membership. I had stated in the group that we need to increase the amount of membership to 1,000. My reasoning for this is we are looking at these funds being able to support not just us as an association, but also the students. 300 shillings is a small amount of money. But if you were to put 1,000 shillings and you multiply by 1,000 members, then what do you have? You have at least 100,000 people or 100,000 shillings to be able to spread and be able to enable the committee members who will be coming to even run the association. So for my feeling is that let's increase the membership fee to a figure that will be able to support the committee to work. Secondly, there is that aspect of penalty. I believe, okay, penalizing anyone who comes out of this particular school for being a member is actually not possible. Why do I say so? By virtue of being a student here, and you live at a particular point, you automatically become an alumni. Whether they want to recognize you or they don't want to recognize you, you are automatically an alumni. Therefore, punishing somebody for not registering at a particular time is not feasible. What the impact it will do is that in as much as we are trying to bring in more members to join the particular association, then those who feel I do not want to give that 2,000 as a penalty, we are then blocking them out. So it is important that that aspect of penalty, because we want to increase our membership. You can imagine people from 1980 something. If you were to just count, you would find that we are able to reach a target of 10,000 people or 5,000 people. With the numbers, then we are able to have more resources to then achieve our vision and our mission. So for me, I think that aspect of penalty is not feasible at that particular point. Then I also had an issue with the membership, the committee membership. I've looked, we have 7 members. The 7 members is a patron, is a chair, is a vice chair, is an assistant secretary, there's a secretary, there's a treasurer, and there's a committee member. Why do we need all those people? What are they doing? As we are right now, we are a small team. I think we are about 300, if I'm not wrong. If you are to count those groups, you are just around 300. Why do we need 7 members? That's the that. Why do we need an assistant secretary? I think for me, we need to then check, do all these positions that we have created, are they relevant? And what purpose are they doing? All right. So yes, it's good to have a chair and a vice chair, but it's also possible that you can have a chair, and if the chair is not if the chair is not available, you have the members in the committee choose somebody to chair the particular meeting. Therefore, that will automatically resolve that issue of not needing a vice chair. Because once the committee sit, they'll be able to say this is a particular chair for this particular meeting because the chair is not there. Treasurer is needed and a secretary is needed. I've looked at the committee member. You will find it's not defined who a committee member sitting in that executive committee is. What, however, is keen, you will find that the election of those officials has been limited to the chairman of the different cohorts. What was the idea behind limiting the joining of that membership to the chairman? That I think is restricting anyone else who would want to join that particular committee to be a member of the executive committee. So I think that restriction should be removed so that we open up. We say we are not only going to limit it to the chairman of the different cohorts. And even if you were to limit it to the different cohorts, they are not enough. All right, currently as we have, you will find that they are not enough to fill those spaces that are there. So we need to open it up. Is it just going to be chairman? Is it going to be a representative? What that inputs is that we need to have rules to be able to see how the different cohorts are able to send a representative. So that if we want to cover all the people in the different cohorts to then sit in the committee, we must rethink. Is it possible that we will have a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary, and then a member or a committee member from each of the cohorts? Then that will make it possible so that all the cohorts are represented in the executive committee. So we need to rethink that so that at least no one is left behind with the positions that are created. Lastly, is the issue of election, right? Election and vacation of office and resignation of office. If you look at the constitution, you'll realize that when someone is removed as a member of the executive committee, then they will have to wait for the SGM or AGM, right? There's a casual vacancy that is filled when someone has passed on, which is different. We're talking about removal. Now, if removal, first, the aspect of removal, it has not dictated what will constitute someone being removed. You know, we need to have rules defined. What is it that when a member does, then they are subject to removal? That is not there. All right. So we need to think and say this is it. Because what will happen if you don't include that, anyone will come and say we are removing this person. And you know, because of what my teacher has said, that elections are very sensitive. That is Mr. Okombo. He said elections are very sensitive, and these positions are actually also very sensitive. So it is important that we guard and at least protect the committee members so that they do their work. No one is, no one start thinking will these people remove me tomorrow, the next day? Then we'll have a lot of politics. So we need to define what constitutes the breach of rules that will cause a member to be removed. Resignation is easy, and then death is also easy because those are natural occurrences. In addition to that, we have to say, when we are talking about replacing this person, don't we need to then give the committee members an opportunity to elect, all right, to elect or appoint a casual member during the removal? We're just talking about removal, and once somebody is removed, let them have a casual member to serve until the next general election. That will simplify the process, all right, so that at least that position is created and somebody serves, and if they serve well, then they'll be able to serve until the next. I've also looked at the funds. You realize from the constitution, the usage of funds is almost limited. What it says, and I may read, is that the funds of association will be used for purpose approved by general meeting through budget, resolution, and by extension the executive committee on behalf of the members. I think it should be very clear. You will find that somebody may leeway to make decisions on the funding. You can also say that this is the extent they can use the fund for purpose of this. And all those decisions that they make in terms of funding, let them be communicated or let them our resources. All right, is it through donation? Are we giving the committee members a leeway to ask?
I'm happy to be here. I learned about this school when we got married, and I went to Fisher's Blood. And when he mentioned that he went to Chulaimbo, I was like, which school is that? And I could not believe that we have a school like that can bring out an aim. We went to the same school, we did go, and I was wondering, this school began here. It can match up, it can inakuja huko tunakutana the schools that think they call themselves schools. So Chulaimbo is a very renowned school, and I'm happy to be associated with it by proxy. So today I sit as one of you. Yes, asante sana. I wish you good deliberations today.
Yes, thank you very much. You remind me your name again? Teddy. Teddy, I happen to be an IT engineer. I do engineer, mimi mtu wa quality, nimefanya quality kidogo na hiyo quality na hii mambo ya engineering. Mimi ni mtu wa mashini. Sasa hii mambo ya jargon, I was just thrown into this. And now, you know, as you have a way of talking. A lawyer can get somebody who you see, we amechukua kiti ya discuss. That's why we are here. If we agree, this is the vision. Ni kitu kiamko nasema ndio hiyo. Ni kama ile kitu, inaniamsha asubuhi. So that one we have to rethink, and we need suggestions. We said this is a draft. Tumewaletea kitu inaanza kuwa tickle. So let it tickle so well. And if you can use your, unajua lawyers, they always work with a pen and a paper, hata kama wana simu. Unaona, mwangalia tu sasa hiyo, pen and paper. Just as you're sitting there with Madam Precious Blood, hapa ni Precious Chulaimbo. You waza kuandika kidogo. Before we say to endorse, tunasema endorsed but na amendments, si ndio? Sasa tunakubali hao watu wa committee waendelee kuweka hizo amendments, wakimaliza wanaweka pamoja. They send again, mnasoma tena. Na tukituma please someni kama vile amesoma. Unajua wale wanasoma kila kitu. Hata gazeti wakisoma mpaka wanasoma mpaka zile za siji classified. They know everything. So read when we send it. When it comes to membership, the amount of 1,000. For those who are in that group, you remember, you can see it. Those who are in the group, when we started talking about mobile for register, I was one of the people advocating for that. But then even at 300, we still have a discussion. People are saying, simweke 150. Na hiyo 150 mkiweka, simweke 150 na watu walipe kidien. Martin. Alone. So it's like a question of where we are, and we're all human beings here. Like, najua where we are as a country now. People are struggling to Ssaa hiyo. It's a sacrifice for some people to even get that 300. And I know there were people who were saying at the OCG cohort ya 2012, 2013 hawana pesa. Hao ndio wana pesa. Wamlambesi wanaenda party hapa Nairobi like anything. They have the money, but we just landed at that 300 with the cohort group. This leadership letter. It's a suggestion. If you agree here, we endorse it with a higher one. Inamaanisha tukitoka hapa mtaongeza hiyo pia matufanye namna gani mtoka from next time. But this was a suggestion that we started with. It's a good idea you have, but you see, we can start with 300, but have other things that bring the big money that we are looking for, so that we become inclusive. Tuweke watu wote ndani with 300, and then ndio tuanze hizo zingine. We can form different financing groups. The penalty part of it was just like, it was another suggestion. Fanya watu wasilale tu, na wakilala sana watuletee. And bwana wakili, there's one sentence umesema ambayo nitakuambia even by law nitakufunga naye na wewe pia. The virtue by the fact that you finished Chulaimbo secondary school, umetoka kwa ile gate, does not make you a member of the alumni association. And that's where we want to define the word association. You must be a registered member of the association. You're an alumnus of Chulaimbo, umetoka umemaliza, that's okay. They are from the 70s and going. But only those who have paid the registration fee of that 300 as of now, you sitting here. Tukifungua hii kitu leo, you are the members of the association. The others can be alumni. We all alumni. Lakini association ni wengine. Kama tu ile watu wa CU wanasema nyinyi ni CU. Si walituacha hapo maana sijui walokutembea wasichana huko leo. Oh, sorry. And then I'll just take another very quickly. Committee members. The committee members, yeah?
Former boys. You know, being there is very interesting. I've realized that these schools, and when the way the teacher was talking here, the teacher was talking, ni kama alikuwa anatusomea, alikuwa anatuona kama sisi bado ni student, which is not bad. We are still students. But what I've come to realize is this. This good lady, you are better half, has said the exact thing, the position of Chulaimbo. She has said the exact Kidwaro engineers, Kidwaro what, these big people in this country, you won't get them from Chulaimbo. But today, we have a legal mind here. What a thing to be proud of. We have an engineer here. We have the doctors here. We have our teachers here. I'm telling you, that is how the Kenya has been. If you did not go to Alliance, if you did not go to Precious Blood, forget about law school. Because our passes are the meager one, the humble passes. You pass to, but he got Division 1. Yeah, I got Division 2. I know he got Division 1. Getting that Division 2 was not a joke here. Then, tukiwacha to somewhere to that the students here cannot make it. I can't agree with that. Now, back to what is being said. With the legal mind in the house, this our document is a legal document. When I take charge, the way my chairman has told you, to help Chulaimbo, to start by alumni. Because later on we take it to the Registrar of Society, the people who look at these documents are now not court economists. They are being looked by lawyers. And that is why the government structure is in such a way that me, I work, then I take my document to the legal mind, and we have them, state law office, who now looks at my document and say whether this document will be accepted internationally. Legal minds from Attorney General must look at it. But now we have a legal document here, and we have two legal minds. By proxy, you are a member of the aluminum Simeji. Simeji is the right one. Yeah, because your husband tulisomea nayo hapa. Sasa mimi wacha pia ni wacha nijipendekeze hapa. Hata mimi Simeji ndio. Sisi wote ni, and we protect you, we love you. We will protect you from teeth to nail, something like that. So please do this. Look for us this document and make sure that it will pass the test of the time. On my chair, with all respect to you, I agree. You cannot purport
to be Chulaimbo Alumni Association member if you've not registered. And the legal mind should put it that way. Why we want that? It shows the seriousness. When it comes to the fee, me, the amendment I wanted this gentleman and a lady to do about, we should know what is registration fee all about. The other time when we were talking about registration fee, it is the njugu ile sasa tumekula hapa. That is not our main purpose. Registration fees should help the office with the administrative things. One of the things. So 300 tumekula hapa. The office doesn't have anything. This thing we are talking of the document to be presented there, it will not be presented ahead there without money. It has to be facilitated. Even this legal mind, if he has to talk to another colleague to look at it, atasema hii naangalia bure, we should be proud that wherever we are, we have money. We have money. In those our meager, humble positions, we have money. And money is the heart. Chunye pesa, kaka nye, inabidi pesa mangenyi, but if you are not willing to donate, yonge pesa, ukibichiwa. So let's review. To me, I would go for 1,000. I would go for that 1,000 as registration fee to show how serious I am. Then the part of that 1,000, 300 has already been eaten. They will tell us how they have used to organize. All the things it is money spent. So let's look at what this money is going to do. That's what I wanted to have. That please brush for us this. We need not to look for another lawyer and you are here. And the engineers who are around, whoever who are around, please help us to bring Chulaimbo to the map.
Thank you very much. That time I would have told you my senior, but nowadays I'm your senior. And give it to Bema Lokoji. Liga to Bema Tereji Kandiga. Yeah, senior. I'm hearing us talking about creating another cohort called Chimedi cohort. Yeah, Chimedi cohort. I will not go, let's not belabor the point, but thank you very much for the comments. Gentlemen and ladies, if we have 1,000 bob, if we have 300 bob, actually, as you mentioned, the 300 bob, hii lunch nimeona hapo tulipanja kwa ile committee, ile liendaga ataki haijaanza, imeendaga hivyo. So, and we will not be doing kila saa tukifanya event, we'll be having tunalipa ya kukula, to know. I will even propose at the end when we come to another discussion where I have some proposals of how we are going to make very quick money for this alumni from experiences from with the experience from other alumni. But that is taken. So if you agree, this gentleman has come humbly. Which cohort are you? Which cohort are you? I'll have to announce it. 0105. Cohort 0105. Unajua my days bwana. Tulikuwa tunasema mimi ni 82 85. Haya karibu.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm happy to be here this time, and I'm happy to see my teacher here, Mr. Kombo. It's a very good teacher of literature. I remember the river and the source. He took us through that book very well, and we really learned something from it. I will not waste much of time. Just want to add a comment to put across. My name is Willis Wambia. I'm the secretary from the court of 2001-2005. So I wanted to say that the registration period is 3 months, and here we are supposed to end our registration today. I don't know which we started 0103. So I don't know whether we are going forward. If not, I wanted to add members at least 1 month of this April. Unless that 3 will continue, then it will be okay. But if it's supposed to end today, then we can add 1 more month of this April so that we can get more members into the. We don't want to tie people outside because of the squeeze of time, but we want to give people time to register, find something to register with. When it comes to penalty, the person who has just talked, the lawyer, he put something quite touching in our constitution. I just want to go to penalties when someone does not pay that subscription fee of 3,000 shillings in a year. I don't see the reason why we should expel somebody from the association once it's registered, but maybe you can find something to say or find a way of dealing with it. Once you've registered and become a member of the association, and maybe you were not able to get that 3,000 for the annual subscription. So how are you going to go about that? Do you remove the person, or how will we handle that? But I don't see the need of expelling him from the association once he registered because of failing to get that 3,000 to pay. I think I'll put something in the course of the time as we move on. Let me stop from there. Thank you.
Asante sana Willis, my schoolmate, my schoolmate, Huruambia. I will comment very quickly on yours, but let me first maliza ile ingine. The increase of amount is 1,000, that is what is suggested. A penalty, if you want Kenyans to talk about money. But if you want to hide a secret, somebody taught me hide it in a book or in a document that is real. That's why the lawyers always succeed. They write a big document. Unaona umekuja na 20 booklets for a very simple case. They are hiding the secrets there. So that 2,000 was actually a secret hidden there, kind of, but we found it. I'm part of that group that suggested this, but personally, I'm against penalties. So it's up to you to read and understand na mukubaliane. When it comes to committee membership, you said 7 people. There are 2 groups of committee members here. There's the executive management, that is the chairman, the secretary, our assistants, and then there's committee, just in a group here, that group of committee, the 7, the ones, we leave alone the executive committee. The one of the 7, those are the ones who will be picked from the cohorts. And the idea behind that, the idea behind that was that tukifanya kitu kama hii, we don't have to call all of us to organize it. Tunasema tuende kwa cohort, wewe tumekuchukua kwa group yenyu, now you form this committee, and one of you also sits in the executive committee. So when the executives have their meeting, wanaita moja anatuletea your idea so that we don't involve everybody all the time. The idea of having 7 members in the executive committee is that it's simple law. Now back to the lawyers again. You always have to have odd numbers. So you either have pick 3, pick 5, pick 7, or pick 9 or 11. 11 was too much for us. 9 was again too much. 5, we thought when you have 5 and he's away, away, or all of a sudden to go minus. So we just landed on 7. There was nothing really like strictly. And to have the 7, we had to have some assistant because after we know where you but we need them. So that one also is up to us to decide. When it comes to the funds, and good that you read everything, then you've helped me now, I can just go through them. When it comes to the vacation of office, removal etc. Those are now where down the lawyers come with the small nitty-gritties because we can't put everything. Lakini kitu moja tu, mtu akiiba pesa yetu huyo tunamweka ndani. Lawyer anza kuandika barua. If somebody passes on, that is of course natural. If somebody maybe I may disagree na watu sana so much mpaka na impact our development, that will also happen. So those are the conditions. We didn't have the nitty-gritties, and that's why I said this is a draft. We need an amendment team who will now go and clean everything up. When it comes to funds, money is very important. And on the money part, we were discussing na tumeongea mpaka Otiengo akasema sasa wewe, if you don't want wacha ikae. And you know we are online. Mimi saa zingine it's night there, hapa ni mchana. Saa zingine yake ni mchana, yangu ni usiku. And we have to go through this. It has been a tedious thing, and if only you knew, we spent a very short time on this. Maybe it shows also sometimes. When it comes to money, we decided that there's big money. Let's say now, this cohort will have some 10 million in an account. I'm just imagining 1 billion. Now, for this executive to touch that money, at the AGM, we will have an annual budget. This is what we want to do next year, people. Our expenses last year, this year, and the budget next year. So we have the budget. That is passed at our annual general meeting. Then in between something happens that requires to spend money outside that. Then we need a resolution to be made, to be passed by the members. Yeah, that resolution will give the executive or the officer in charge of our finances to expedite expenses. Yeah, And there are times that, like you said, we should give a leeway to the executive. The executive should be given, at least we should have some caption that allows the executive to use a certain level of an amount. And if they're going to use that amount, how they are supposed to report it back to us. When you go to the treasury, which is the custodian of finances, we have put a caption there that every member of the alumni association at any time calling the treasury should be given the information of our financial status. That can also be part of the checks and balances. So we need to adjust those ones. Good that you noted them. Willie Sombia, 300. Yes, we've discussed it already. And the fine also has already been discussed. We will not have that. Oh yeah, you talked about the dates. Where is it? Is there? The idea of 1st of March was to push us very hard. Really, that was decided by the court leadership. It was supposed to push us so hard so that we reach the 30th of March to register watu. Because if you're going to register, we needed some names ambayo itapelekwa kwa registrar. But we put a caption there that registration window is open 3 months. So even up to today, you can see it, tomorrow you can register people. And I would say that that part also we should check. We should not have that window as long as there's no punishment now. Once we register the association, watch watu waingie when they want to come in. I think that my suggestion would be like that. Watch watu waingie tu. Until the day we change now the amount and we maybe move. That's just my suggestion. Now, tuende haraka nimalize. Amendments of the constitution. Amendments tunasema must be approved by at least 2/3 majority of registered members at a general meeting of the association. That one also, our loyal legal minds should look at that to help us. And then tuna dissolution and then acceptance itakuja huko. Yeah, there's audit. And there was that point we said kidogo about procedure at meetings. The chairman, or in his absence, the vice chairman shall chair all executive meetings, general meetings, or in the absence of both, an executive committee member selected of the meeting shall chair the meeting. And so that unajua saa zingine chair hapatikani, mwingine hapatikani. So when you come to a meeting, we don't want our meetings to stop. This, in a nutshell, is what we have worked on the last 2+ weeks of hard work from an engineer. Washington pia ni mtu wa barabara. Washington Otieno IT. Ni wa barabara Sisi watu wa kompyuta tunajiita watu wa barabara. So this is what watu wa barabara walileta. We hope it is a guiding document that can help us, and as Robert said, let it be so airtight that mtu akiona anasema kweli we are serious, and it will guide us. My main prayer is that we live here, that we endorse what we have, and we give the constitutional group to work hard and amend it, and make sure that we process the association registration, ili by May ikifika tuwe na association ishaandikwa imewekwa ndani, tuanze kufanya kazi. Amendment ya constitution tutafanya bado many times, we will still do it several times, but let us have one that can help us to push the registration iende. So wakili na cohort member ya hiyo ingine cohort yetu hiyo ingine muhimu, ambia huyo cohort original hii kazi asianze kupeleka ile inakuja nyuma, na respect the rule of law, asianze disobey orders. So the one thing I have to remind you today, we are going to vote, and it's very important that I mention this. That is the article number 12. I'm coming to you. Article number 12, C. Article 12C says in very simple terms, only registered members shall be eligible to vote. So today when we're going to vote, Chris yuko hapa. Chris yuko hapa. He has the list of all those members who are registered. And those who are online also registered. So only those who are registered will vote today. We will respect that part. Mimi naona yangu imekwisha, unless kuna bado kuna moja hapa. Na pia unatangaza jina yako na hiyo.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. By name, I'm Kevin Dedemuga. I belong to the court 2010, 2014, by profession and a medical doctor. So ile ya wakili sitaingilia kidogo, but niko na points zingine ndogo ndogo hapa. I mix the three languages zote pamoja. So in case madam huko nyuma hajasikia hiyo lugha yetu, naweza mtranslate hapo. Yeah? Okay. So let me start by thanking the organizing committee for the good work they've done. Wherever we were just chatting on the wall, not knowing what was going in the town. But the team being led by National, yeah, they've done a recommendable job for this to be happening by now. Another thing that I'm going to talk about is about membership. About the fee for membership, be it 300, 1,000, that can be subjected to negotiation. I'm not at a constant issue. Was the penalty. Somebody said about penalty that inafaa itolewe. Now I'm trying to ask myself, if we were to register the whole of this year, and now next year March, and now we need to, what do you call it, to subscribe. But atakuwa na register to subscribe. So hapo pia tunataka those gritty to ili kuwe more of open enough. Like I think for about registration tunaiweka in a way that iende hadi this year. Hii itakuwa sawa. But when we start subscribing next year, if at least watu wameregister. About penalty for next year, hapa tutasaidiana na malawyers kidogo ama wale wenye wako sharp. It ought to have read that penalty haifai kuwe like 2,000 specifically. It ought to have read like you pay the registration fee with a penalty of this. So if I'm going to only pay 2,000, is that penalty only, or does it also the original registration fee? So it ought to have read you pay the registration. I believe we need committees. The reason the committees is this being the first time that maybe we're meeting officially for something that we are starting at a certain point. We need a committee, one for this. Second reason why we need a committee is to delegate duties. Chris hapa amefanya kazi poa. To some extent nilikuwa nampiga, si kubaya, but nilikuwa nampiga being that alikuwa kwa ballot na alikuwa nafanya kazi zingine zenye zinaguzia election and is on the ballot. Those are the reason why we need committee. So see at the executive are the ones doing the finer details. They can delegate some duties to the committee, and then the committee reports to them. And the last one, though he is gongana vichwa, but I had opinion, and my opinion is we have court leaderships, we have a committee, and we have blah blah. But my major point was about court leadership and executive. I was thinking, if you belong to a court leadership, you should strictly be a court leadership. Executive should be executive by the name. Si ati huku wewe ni secretary, huku wewe ni chairman, the other side wewe ni treasurer. So hata tujui tukuite jina gani. Let executive be executive and let court leadership be court leadership. So that we have designated duties. Jina ya executive is a big name. Tusiende to mix huko tupigane vichwa. I'm engaging chairman on some below belt discussions. So that was my humble plea that executive ipaki tu kuwa executive. And then court leadership wabaki kuwa court leadership. But the election for court leadership ikuje mapema so that kama unataka executive ujue utaendea hii court leadership. Ikikumiss, go for the executive. Those are my points.
Thank you very much. Njoo haraka tuchukua hiyo. We take yours and then we take yours also. And just make it chap. Na ile pia mimi naanza kusikia ja.
Thank you so much. My name is Justice Orlando, cohort 2005-2009. I was here 2004. I left 2007. I had a comment on membership. It is a constitutional right for anybody to join an association at any point and any time they want. So I do not see the need why you want to give me a penalty before I become a cohort, an association member. Number two, I want to be cognizant of the new boys we are going to release into association. Are they also going to be paying this penalty fee? So for me, I really feel that we need to put the registration fee open without any penalty. Any member should be able to join at any time they feel. Now they have the personal commitment to be able to participate in the alumni association activities. Number two, I wanted to comment on the executive leadership. I need to see a clause where if I've served the position of a treasurer or a secretary, and I'd wish to serve as a president or the chairman of the association later in life, that I'd serve in that position of treasurer or secretary for maximum number of terms. I think it's coming out in a way that when I serve as a treasurer, then I'm going to retire after 2 terms, then I'll not be eligible to contest for a presidency. I believe this is a solution that's going to have results, and therefore I would want to serve it to the maximum limit of my capacity. So those are the 2 points I really wanted to put across. And what I'm leaving behind in terms of the penalty, once now I've joined the association and I fail to pay the annual subscription fee, now there should be a penalty, because now there should be a commitment for all members to work towards ensuring that they bear the responsibilities. So there should be a penalty for not paying the subscription fee after some point, and then of course, for how long should I delay before I pay that annual subscription fee? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I just have 3 inputs in our constitution for the purposes of registration. First, registration of membership should be continuous. We should not stop it at any given time. It should be a continuous process. An alumni but have been stopped from joining for malicious purposes. Secondly, when we talk of the executive, for the purposes of registration, we must have a specific number of executive written both in words and in letters. 7 executive members, 8 executive members, or 11 executive members. And we must set the minimum number of executive members at the maximum number of executive members. You don't just leave it as a gap. Thirdly, there is quorum. Within our constitution, we should have a quorum. How many executive members can make a decision? So that not 2 or 3 people makes a decision and we ratify it. So how many executive members can make a decision that all of us can adopt? It should appear in our constitution. Those are some of the inputs that I wanted to put across so that they are captured clearly as we work on our final draft. Thank you very much.
Kuna moja pia. I think we just take the comments and then we take tumalize haraka hiyo.
Thank you very much. I think you started adopting this political from the February too much association now. It's becoming contagious. Thank you very much. I'm Tom Comedo. In the court of that ends in 2000. That's 10-year gap. Just a quick one. Okay, by profession, I'm an auditor, an accountant as well, and mostly with tax consultancy.
I have a firm called Pilwat Financial Consultants. Now, I just want to ask the legal minds that when they will be going through this aspect of membership, they check for us, at least, or us, we tend to agree on who is treated as an alumni. Because Chapter 6, subsection, that is Chapter 6A, says that any individual who studied, I don't have a problem with anybody who graduated, but I have a challenge with any individual who studied, who maybe either came for one term and left, came for even 2 weeks in the school and left, so that at least we can define. Because we say, well, for you to be an alumni, you have to be convinced things are okay, and the trajectory is 4 years moving downwards. Thank you.
Is there another? Yeah, come, brother, come. I'm told.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Sylvester Lodge, cohort of 2010-2014. I finished my Form 4 in the year 2010. So professionally, I'm a user interface, user experience designer. So in my world, we normally make products. And when you're trying to sell a product to a customer, it's normally not the product we are selling. It's the solution, that product addressing that we are selling. And that makes our potential users buy the product. So in short, we are selling the solution. Bringing to context, we are debating on the issue of registration. In the group, when we observed, some were making a bare minimum of 100, some were talking of 500, and some were even talking of more than that 500. How are we having this conversation? It is the way we package this association. Back then, we have been packaged in a way that we normally just handle welfare-related stuff or bereavement. That's our way. Nobody can run away from that. It is our journey. You have to come there. Then I'm going to task the new office that we are going to elect. Can you package this association to attract as many as possible, so that if you tell me registration is 5,000 Kenya shillings, I won't look at other stuff, but I'll gladly join. Let's package this association as a vehicle that is going to drive us for more prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon again. I'm representing the cohort 2015-2019. When I take a look at the registration of my members, we are barely 30. We are barely 30 members. Brings me to a point. I'm proposing or supporting the idea that we have a continuous registration, so that if at all there must be penalty, can we have the penalty imposed on on the members who already registered and they have not paid their subscription money? But I'm suggesting two things. Can we have a cumulative penalty every month? So say someone has defaulted for 2 months, so we can have the penalty per month for defaulting to pay your subscription. It is accruing. Or secondly, we can have a percentage of the subscription amount. If you fail to subscribe on time, there's a percentage of subscription amount that is imposed as your penalty. Thank you so much. Because and also I was forgetting continuous registration. Like my members, most of them, when they register, they are telling me some more time. So if we close it now, we want as many members as possible, isn't it? Let us open it, as they have said, it will be a continuous process. So maybe we can consider the terms when giving or imposing a penalty on someone. Thank you.
Tumemaliza. Chukua, let me take him also. And this will not close every, I mean, still, there will be still discussions going on. We are still here. Thank you. Bumondi, out of 1980 to 1990. I left school in 1984. I want us to maybe amend on the amounts that we are talking of paying for membership. If we want to be vibrant, we are enabled differently. Somebody may find it difficult to raise 300 shillings, but somebody can easily raise 5,000. It would not be a big deal. So can we talk of a minimum so that those who are able to pay can add more? So that we leave that room. Should you have anything you want to add extra, then you are not limited. Maybe we can look at that. Secondly, we talked of a quorum during the meeting. 3/4, eh? Is it of the members who attended the meeting, or is it of the registered members? Because like today, if we are talking of the people who are attending this meeting today, then we may not meet the quorum, and therefore our business, we may never be able to do our business if we have to go by the registered numbers. I don't know if you are getting me. So is it that fraction of the people who attended the meeting or registered? Let's look at it and see which one will work for us. Thank you.
I think I'm.
Hello.
Kumawai. Members, thank you so much. Allow me also to put my input on this great deliberation that we are having, because this is a document that is going to guide us way forward. Now, I don't want to go through what my colleagues have said, because most of them are points that we need to consider. Probably we might leave them on the legal minds to guide us on the rest of the deliberation. The only thing that I would like to probably comment on is the continuity of registration. Now, legal minds in the house can advise when we're having an association, meaning we're having activities that we are typically part in, including and not limited to assets, ownership, or IGAs, income generating activities. Now, my only worry is when we, and then there's something also, when a chair of the draft committee, draft constitution, that I think we left out, I'll also mention it. Now, when we reach that level of where we want to own ownership, because now, when we're having an income generating activity for purpose of driving our or sustaining our activities, because now, like the chair said, this is not a funds drive, a funds driven association where we depend on Kilamara, Rambe. No, we need to raise money from ourselves. Yes, if we have an opportunity to get funds or grants or wherever from whatever source, or probably from Scandinavia areas where our chair is. Scandinavia are the richest countries in the world. So actually, I know some grants, especially those Kenyans in Europe, they should help us some few things. Now, when we reach that level, we would want to make ownership. Let's not lie to each other. I know I would want to say I contributed on a subscription, which led to the IGA. Now, somebody registers tomorrow. Do we disqualify that person from earning how do you call this, interest at the end of the year, or how would we do it? Chair, and that one brings me to the second point of the trustees. I didn't see it in the committee, but we should actually have trustees. I don't know whether we will want to elect them or they are executive appointees. But I think trustees are people who we are trusting for a period of time, probably 3 years or 5, with our assets, with our income generating activities. These people will be the people who will sign up, will own maybe bank accounts or for whatever project that we're having. Now, these people, if we agree on how to include them in the constitution, that the people will be announcing to us, whether it will be monthly or periodic or whatever period we will agree on, what are we done with the IGA that we have. So that will guide us on actually what. So back to my point, my first point of continuous registration. I think it will be tricky at this point, unless we put a cap to it, that yes, it's continuous. But for all of this year, whatever has been accrued on the IGAs, you're not part of it. And legal minds, you need to advise us here so hard, because that's a very contentious thing. If you get your point here, IGAs, happen to pattern, and then the kind of minds we have in the association, we are people who really want information and details. So that's my introduction. Thank you.
Now, I will say that you have one more. Vijana wako vibrant, vijana wajizidia.
Hello. Thank you once again, fellow comrades. I always talk much when it comes to things like this, things development and how we can build each other. So I've come across several constitutions of different groups, and currently in our association, we are having, unfortunately, about 4 members who lost their loved ones, and that part is not addressed in the constitution. We can find a way of bringing it in the constitution in such a way that if a member lost a father, a parent, maybe a spouse, how do we go about that? Because if we go the way we are going currently, you find that just a few people are contributing and one is having a problem, and the rest are just there. And our number is almost 400 now. We are about 370 something. If each person contributes even 100 shillings or 200, could be able to at least give these people some good support. Then only the 20 people are contributing maybe 500 or 200. We'll be giving burden to only few people. They'll be contributing every now and then, especially these things goes to the officials. Officials ndio wanachanga, jina yao zinakuwa hapo, lakini wengine hawachangi. So let's try to find out how we can go about this. We can put it in the constitution that if a member lost maybe somebody close, parent, spouse, or child, how much will we be able to contribute? And if we can put it, we are so many, if we can reach 400, 500 people, and we say if for such an occurrence or unforeseen circumstance, where somebody lost a loved one, we can put maybe 1,000 in a year, you pay that in a year. So in this 1,000, mtu akipata na shida kama hiyo, tutachukua as association, we take 30,000, something like that. Then that one we draw from the account. Out of that, you have 1,000 which you contribute for such a event. Then every time a member is found in such a circumstance, we give that person 30,000. And then maybe you can add maybe 100, but that 30,000, if it's there, you'll be given that, or maybe it can be 50,000. So we can think of on that line and put it there as well. Then if I come to committees, we leave that aside. The team will address it better if you allow that to be there. The committees, we need to have the court leadership in the executive, so that whatever is discussed in the executive committee can be brought to the court. Somebody said that the leaders in the court should not appear in the executive. How will the court members get the information from the executive, or what happened in the co-executive? And what is the point of convergence of these leaders of the court with the executive? If a treasurer does not meet the chairman of the association, or they don't get anywhere to meet, how will that bring the leadership of the court and the main association. So we need to address that, and also we need to have various committees where we can have a education committee, welfare committee, and things like that. So we have some people leading those areas. So if you want to improve the education at Chulaimbo, we will ask so and so that can you go to Chulaimbo and check what can we do? What is happening there? What's the problem? Then you bring it to the committee, and the committee discuss that and then bring it back to the members. Thank you. I think I will stop there for now.
I would only take one more so that or should I take two more? So unajua mimi naanza kuhisi njaa. If you have short ones, can I take two? Now I have one, two, they have to come.
It's okay, thank you. Thank you, committee. I am Kucheng Wade. If you like, you can call me Kennedy Ochieng. Karibu sana mwalimu. I can see my good literature teacher is out. So, I work with the forces, the GSU. I work with the rec board. Currently, I am on secondment intelligence, attached special missions Supreme Court. So, I want to make my submissions in terms of standards when we come with such kind of course and initiative. It's good that we have the standards are required. And in terms of cooperative society standards, I think legal minds in the house understand it well. The standards I want to talk about is in terms of the societies which are the relevant societies which are around. There are so many schools I think that are running alumni association with their specific standards set. Alumni association, not most of the schools, even here around, I think Chulaimbo has a good objective and a good idea to come up with this kind of initiative. And it is good. Most of the schools are not having it. So it is good that we borrow from those particular schools which are having the same initiative so that we set standards that accommodate everybody who require to be a member. Let us observe that. Another point that my friend as official has talked about how to go about the issue of contribution. You know, things of the issue of fatality is an issue that is affecting that is seriously affecting modern society. And when we have such kind of initiative, it is always important that we propagate, we incorporate. I mean, we incorporate such kind of factors, such kind of things that may give us a way in which we can handle issues when someone loses a parent or whichever kind of fatality that we can come in to assist. Because like now, when you see in the group, there are contributions which are going on. They're just open. You see, people are not submitting. You see, one has taken more than 2 weeks. Now you find the people less than 20, and someone is giving like 300, 200 shares. So in the constitution, it's good you include those, and you give, you highlight on specific guidelines or on specific directions on how things should work in order to help us handle these issues effectively when it comes to arise. Thank you.
Anyone?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patrick Olamo. I left here in 94. First, I want to thank Almighty God for this wonderful day. And I also want to thank you so much, my brothers, the seniors, and even those who came after us for this wonderful day. I have looked at the Constitution, and I want to thank you, Sir Fred Makosi, for putting up a very beautiful document. I'm an electrical engineer, but the other part of my life is social life. I draft constitutions for association.
So I'm not a lawyer, but I know so much about doing constitution. And I want to tell you, my brother, that you've done a good thing. I also want to appreciate the input of the lawyer. What you did, our brother, is very nice because the vision and the mission up around that place we are little off. We only need to put it so that it is very focused. Then the area of funding, the area of funds, handling funds. The drafts that I have done before, we are very specific about funds. You know, when we come as association, as members of this association, first, we are here because we're in this school. We love the school so much, and therefore we are brothers. So when it comes to areas of probably when one of us loses a loved one, you know, it has been loosely handled. But now when we are drafting the constitution, it should be very specific so that we know how we handle our issues of BBM. I want to make a proposal under funds. One, there should be funds that is geared towards enriching the lives of the members. That is what we usually call probably shares, so that when this organization goes into business, you only earn which is what is equivalent to the share that you put in. Two, there should be a funding for BBF per month or per year. Where I come from, I've done drafts where people put 500 per month, so that, and then you have laws that are guiding on how this money is spent whenever something defaults a member. So we do it every month, with or without losing a loved one. But when it falls, when one of us loses a loved one, then the draft constitution will guide us if it is a son, if it is a mother, if it is a father, and so on and so on, to do this way. Lastly, the fund for welfare. Like you're saying, we paid 300 for this, but now when we are coming here, the welfare is where we should be drawing funds for taking care of us when we come here, so that we don't go into that funding for purposes of enriching us or purposes for IGA, as Chris mentioned it, but we have just a specific account that is for welfare. It should be very minimal because we'll not be meeting every now and again. But I believe the committee will be meeting. They can draw whatever, even if it is drinks, if it is maybe money for paper, it can be drawn. Those are my proposals. So I want to make a proposal before I say it, because we also need to help the drafters. As you stand, you speak, and you speak in finality, because it's not nice that you stand every now and again to speak about the same thing. The proposal for underfunding, the proposal for registration, 1,000 is okay. Let us just raise it to 1,000 shillings. So those of us who are paid 300, we can work on how to bring 700. The one for BBF, 500 would be okay, because we're also looking at the numbers. We already above 300. So if these 300 people brought 500 per month for a whole year, how much is that? It would be a lot of money. So that then now finally you do lines that would guide if a member loses what, this is how we come. So that we don't have a wall like Sir Freddy mentioned. Some of us, you'd be very busy. When you go back to the wall, 1,001 messages. But you want to see what are my brothers saying. Like there was a time I tried to engage my brother Chris. I was not able to match his speed of writing because I reply when I come back, when I go do some work and I come back, there are already 101 messages and I've lost him. So I gave up engaging. I gave up engaging him and other brothers online. So let us also make the wall a bit. It's nice the way we have engaged so far. It's very good, and I love it because I also work with young people. It's very good the way you have engaged on the wall. But going forward, let us be very objective. Let us not put everything and anything. If it is from the office, let it be just 1, 2, 3 lines. We read it, we internalize. If I have a comment, fine, I can call side chat, so that I don't need to chat you I don't know whether you're getting. I don't need to chat the officer directly on the line. I can go in his inbox and ask my brother, what is it that you're trying to say? So that we don't congest these people's, what you call the WhatsApp platform. Otherwise, thank you so much. Did I mention all the funds? They're just 100 shillings for welfare. Oh, thank you. You have a secret. Thank you. Just 100 shillings. If all of us were giving 100 shillings for welfare, by the end of the month, that will be the 100 times 300. If at all we have 300, that will be 30,000. That can be enough to give us waters if we sit here and you eat something. And the school will always be supporting us because we also intend to support the school. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Now we okay, yeah? This is what the Kenyan government, Mheshimiwa, is he not here? Sasa anaweza kumsengenya ameenda huko. The government people in Kenya, you know, when you're out of Kenya, you tend to do everything. You read everything, you know, even here, mimi ndio navaa nguo mpaka nimeweka secret room huko ndani. You know, you become too Kenyan when you don't live in Kenya, which is a bit interesting. This is what to me I call public participation. So that when you live here, you feel you are part of that document we are talking about. You can say, at least kama sijaisoma yote, but I understand we discussed that part. I've heard one of my class schoolmates here. He talked nicely about the Harambes. I am not a fan of Harambes. Mimi sitaki mambo ya Harambee. I just have to contribute, but I feel that is, for lack of a better word, is too Precambrian, it's too old style. We are moving very fast. The last cohorts will tell us they are moving so fast, and we need to move with the tides. The committees we have, the 7 members of the committees, they'll be heading different foundations, let me call it that way. So the first constitution need to make a draft, in the guiding principles. Unajua ile kitabu kubwa. Now from that kitabu kubwa, we should have some captions that allow us to also form foundations or sections or committees or groupings. One of them, number 1, should be the welfare group. And that welfare group will have its own committee and leadership, and then they have to be connected through one of the committee members to the executive. Okay? My idea of welfare is not about the contribution small. I think when there's one thing that everybody must go through, whether we like it or not, is that we will one time pass from here to the next level of life, yeah? But don't tell a Kenya kwamba anza kuweka pesa chini ya mattress juu utakufa siku moja. They'll tell you want me to die. And especially from our lowland, huku hatupendi mambo ya kifo. But that will happen. So there are these many companies, I mean, in other alumni where I am, and I have a very good experience with that. When one of us dies, especially the ones that I have abroad, the groups that we have abroad, Kenyan organizations, you know, kutoa mtu ngambo kuleta hapa, when you're alive, maybe like fly from London to this place, you spend now maybe about what express flight 150 to 200,000. If you are bringing a body, it will be $1 million points from 900,000 going up. So it is cheaper to travel alive, Indio. So what we have done in most organizations, especially in Europe, we have formed the last expense packages. We are working on what we call last expense insurance package. And as an alumni, we can apply through Britam, I don't know what, all these organizations, where you also register individually. So if you don't contribute, it is not the alumni guys or the office which is going to chase you. It's your agreement with them, but we get a package as alumni. And like the one we're using, there's a friend of mine who died, amepelekwa hapa Yala. Within 4 days, those guys had paid for the air, big package. The 12,000 covers me with my kids, my wife, mother is still alive, my father is still alive. So that covers like, and you can extend it in the same amount. When it comes to registration, you nimekubali tayari, and I'm feeling that it should be open. Okay, let it be open. The amount is still 300. Suggestion imetoka kwa Patrick and the rest 1,000. That one we can also agree on. We put it here. We will tutaweka baadaye. Penalty hiyo tumetoa. as per my understanding right now, there'll be no penalty on registration. It's open and everybody can come when they come, but somebody must register to be part of the association. Bwana, that was daktari ameongea hapo. Na tuna madaktari hapo, ulikuwa nafikiri watu wako hapa bwana. Kuna architect hapa, kuna engineer, nimeona mpaka software engineer mwenzangu. And he said one thing very simple: we don't sell products, we sell solutions. So we find a problem, then we sell it. Daktari penalty tumetoa. The committee, that part of the, members of the committee should not come from the cohort group. I think that still is contentious because we need a connection between the cohorts and the executive committee. And one way or the other, somebody will still atakuwa member hii cohort, one cohort. Like I'm in my group. So mkiamua kunichagua hapa na mimi nimetosha mpaka nimeweka bwana. Sasa mtanikataa because I'm a chairman of another cohort. So that part also maybe we will talk with our guys there. I already got 2 guys in the constitution. Patrick, you already member. Usidanganywe. That's how we get a job. So Patrick na Teddy, you already members of the constitution group. Na msidanganywe, jina yetu itaandikwa hapa. When it comes to justice, it's your constitutional right to join the alumni. It is not your constitutional right to join the alumni association. Sometimes when I enter these big hotels, wanasema the management reserves the right of. So we can put that the alumni association reserves the right of joining us. We can choose who we want to pick also. And we're already picking them by asking them to pay. So hapo tayari kuna caption, but I understand you. The constitution allows you to join anything. Yes. Hapo ni sawa. So once we remove the penalty, what wataingia? Tutaongeza till ifike 2,000 later. And then moving from one position to the next, like if I'm elected chair and then I've served my term, and I will also explain that a bit. There's a section that you will not ask about because we put some things in bracket. Transition period. The first time we're electing these guys, not all of them should transition in the next election. So we put some dates there, like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, to make sure that we don't vote everybody out. Alafu ingine. So that's why we put, if we vote the chairman today, huyo chairman akae, time yake ikifika, akitoka, the secretary is still hanging 1 year. At least part of the office is still hanging. So that maybe we change the constitution after the next election so that they're flat rate. But I believe that if you are elected today, now next election ifike umemaliza zamu yako, I think we should open it up so that you can be elected a chairman or something like that. Lakini pia tutaki mtu akae chairman for life bwana. So maybe we should, lawyers, find another word. Unajua nyinyi mnakuanga vile mnachezaka na chini ya maji. Find a word that can make the chairman asikae mara 3. Ikishindikana sana kule mara 2 na aende. We have so many young people coming up. We need leaders. I don't want to be a leader of this kind of group. Let vibrancy come in. And then towards the end, Tom Komedo, I really love that you are an auditor. So there's a section talking about audit here. So hapo Tom, tutakuangalia tu. People get positions here. Namna hiyo tu. Sylvester, with interface engineering, I think you're my best friend here. So we want to sell these things, so you will help us. That one, membership will be open. The quorum is an issue, Khaled. Because the quorum in such meetings sometimes in a war organization. Because if I have an issue I'm going to discuss and I feel I can mobilize my team and they don't come. Well, I'm not a politician, so I don't do that. So what we can do, what we put here is that 2/3 of the registered members, but we should extend it with 2/3 of the registered members in attendance. Something like that. Sio inakubaliwa? Kama mimi nitaanza kufanya hii kazi. So that one is there. That I think hangs up the rest. The quorum is there. Kennedy Chieng. Kwanza wewe, we will talk even more. I need a lot from you. We will talk more about that. But the welfare part I've discussed, and I think we will just find a way of creating it and making it vibrant. We will have the education committee, which is my heart, so that when we reach a situation like the January one, where somebody thinks we are coming to storm and burn the school, we don't do that. We send the education committee to come for a structured communication. Then they will bring back and say, unajua hii ndio tumepata shuleni, shule also says theirs, then we bring to the members. So we'll have several committees. And Patrick, of course, there's one thing you touched there which is my heart, and that is pesa mfukoni. I heard of the trustees. We decided to leave the trustees away because wanaweza kupatiwa kazi ngumu sana, and we didn't want to go that fast, but we will definitely go there because in the groups, some of them that I am in, we're investing. We've been constructing 2 places now. One is in Kisumu. I won't say which one because I'm not allowed to. And there's one in Nairobi. And for those who are in Kakamega, the county borders of the 3 counties of Kakamega, the land at that county is about 15 acres. We bought it by an alumni group like that, and we have shares. 15 acres is there. We are constructing in Nairobi, we are constructing in Kisumu. So the part of funding, we will also have finance, call it finance committee or whatever, investment committee. Hapa hakuna mtu atakuwa na kazi. All of you be ready to be put into something because we want people who are vibrant, sio kukaa tu. Then we will be discussing issues. So the finance committee or group that we will find, our foundation, will make sure that na hapo pia itakuwa ni kuingia tena, si automatic. Hapo pia itakuwa ni kuingia tena. Tunasema like one of them we have, you are allowed to buy 3 shares because we don't want also billionaires coming to grab. Yeah. So 3 shares, this is an example. Where we pay a share is 60,000. It's a serious one, that group. 60,000 is 1 share. You're allowed to buy 3, and you must buy a minimum of 2 per year. That means you have to put 120K. And then every month, that group would deliver 5,000 every month. That means a year also 60,000. So if you bought the 3 shares, utakuwa umeweka 240 in a year. Now, if you don't pay the shares, coming back to you, if you don't pay the 5,000 monthly, which you talked about 100 or something or 500, tunakuchapa. Ikifika tu 10th, wanatuma automatic message. 11th, ile 5,000 imeongezwa 500 on it. Ikifika month end, kama hujalipa, inaongeza another 500, so you have to pay 6,000 that month. That money is being invested continuously. And now, we will start getting dividends. I got a message na kuna dividend imekuja 7,000. Unafurahi sana, unafurahi. And then they keep investing. So these are the ideas we need to bring. And I know all of you have these good ideas. Put these ideas. Let's have an idea bank. Let that WhatsApp group for the alumni association members be an idea bank. Anything, hakuna idea mbaya. A bad idea is an idea that has not been mentioned. It out. Let's just have it out. And we will create a very vibrant association where hata tukiitwa Harambee hapa, we don't atue at shilingi 5. Tutasema ile tumefungua another construction Chulaimbo something group. Hiyo pesa tunaweka hapo, tulete hapa Harambee hiyo wajenge hiyo kitu. I think I will leave it at this. And then the trustees is an open thing. The trustees' work is very simple. They are the ones we trust, as their name says. We trust them with our investments. Let's say we want to put, like, I'm really looking at this place. I was talking to Bishop Anato Nani. Yes, Julius. Yeah, Julius Amoke. He lives somewhere there. So I met him here and I was telling him, you know, the same hotel tuliwacha ni hivyo tu. The same place, hakuna, we are not moving. So tafutia sisi hapa shamba hapa mbele tu. Chulaimbo hapo, tafuta tu shamba yoyote.
No, we buy the building,
yes,
put it down,
yes,
and erect something.
Anything here. And this alumni, I'm telling you, if we are serious, tutakuwa na gorofa hapa, watu watakuwa nakuja kufanya meetings hapa. This place, I'm telling you today, mark my words, we will put it. I know it works. If we're dedicated, you don't need the 10,000 people, no. If you are 1,000 dedicated people, 500 dedicated people, hapo mtaona some change that nobody has ever seen. We will have our own Chulaimbo Academy that feeds this school with the best students here. We can do it. So I end up here, and now I leave the program to, and if anybody wants to still challenge, ask a few questions, ama nini nimalize zamu yangu nikae chini nianze kunywa soda na mimi tuendelee.
Chair, thank you. You are just finishing, and protocol demands me, if your senior stopped, you need not to come in, but thank you for your indulgence. What I wanted to ask and seek the indulgence of all of us comrades is the 2 years which is put here. I don't know whether it is discussed when I was outside there. For 2 years for the chairman, 2 years for assistant secretary. What I have with this, what I have in mind is this: if you have good leadership or bad leadership, the shortness or the length it varies. You understand what I mean? But literally, 2 years would make. I feel that the project that the chair started is just somewhere. It's just somewhere. It has not finished. So we can indulge ourselves in this, and if possible, we put it 3 years. Then that limit that my chair was reiterating about is a must. You can't be there every day. All year come, you are the chairman. No, we have to be people who are willing to transition, and especially the young people who are here. Then the last one, at the expense of, not at the expense, but to support our chair here who was leading us through this. Majority of us here are Julu. Talking to very senior people here. Jalu you are gorekende. You know that terminology? Don't you see in your terminology Majulu Lingata you are gorekende? That terminology Maringata you are gorekende no. As Chulaimbo old boys. If we don't go the chairman's suggestion, it can never be equal. It can never be equal. Even as now, one of our colleagues here who stood here said, what is this that we are seeing in the look at how many we are. Manager Louis Wagorek and what I mean. You find that there is a court member of mine, Patroba. He's not here, but I can mention his name. If you look people who have contributed there, majority they are just that court members. Do you know why that is happening? It is happening that because these boys, or all of us, when we are in the school, you know one another. Then when you hear that something has happened to somebody, that appeal comes automatically. To extend this appeal to a period over 20 years is a tall order for us police. It's a tall order. So the only best way to deal with it is this one. It will be uniform. All of us are registered. We will pay. It is those people who come with their package and give you according to their member, according to what the office has done here. But if we don't go that direction, you will find that that will be the source of us kusambaratika. Because kama ni so ilikuwa pesa mingi. Kama ni so hakuna watu wanatoa. We shall have a problem. Na hiyo iko kwa villages yetu. We need not to bring that to this village. Thank you very much.
My fellow alumni, allow me just to do an input. I think the chair has handled two programs at the same time, constitution and welfare. Look at that. But then I wanted to share something that I'd actually inquired with the insurance on the welfare. That we can, if we are agreeable with it, we can always do a contribution to a specific account that when we have an account, then we contribute to the insurance person. Then the package is shared to the group, so that all of us can look at it. Now from this, it's a minimum of 500 per year. Or there's one for 1,000, this one for 4,000, depending on the package that we might choose. But then that also gives us what we call a sum assured when maybe Janga Metokea, we are paid probably 100,000 shillings per whatever. But the goodness with that, we will limit the traffic in the group of contributions so that we can focus on other things. So then we also limit the easy pressures. Somebody reporting to the office. The only thing you need to do is to make your complaints, your claims, the insurance, to give them the death cash in our account. I think that was the idea that Chair was talking. I just wanted to make that. I'll share the two insurance from Britain and from Old Mutual. There was one for Liberty Insurance, but I didn't like it unless it is an individual insurance. So, but I will share all of them so that we can always remember.
Yes. So now, mine was just a composition of the executive. Those who are elected executive. I was kind of thinking that we put some limit or some qualification mark for one to be qualified to be a member of the executive, such that we don't just put it open to all. There must be all of qualification. What should you have attained so that you vie in the position of a chairman, position of there's some auditing that should be done to you. I cannot just come from nowhere.
Vamos,
Actually, from the time we started, I've had a lot, but many of us have responded to some of them, giving the same idea I had. For those who came behind me, my name is Agbe Ogola. Post 1985, I don't think there's anybody here who is holding best footballer, best number 5 of Chulaimbo. Now my name. I'm in the cohort of 1981 to 24. So 80 to 90. Going to the point, I want to talk about the welfare or the social responsibility of the group. Remember, we are here purposely to register as an association. And having registered an association, besides the main objective, the key one driving us of supporting the school and by extension the community and the country academically, we want to look at our own welfare. And that is where things like benevolence is coming and all that. Or whenever you have a group, you want to have this group steer, guided. And so is the committee we are talking about here. Everybody here, other than professional qualification, has qualified to be here. We are all Chulaimbo. We are all Chulaimbo. So if we are going to go the way or the direction of finding out what qualification we are probably that may give us some value in what we are doing. But we are starting. We are starting an association, and it is not casted on stones. As we move on, we'll have room for improvements. And that is why we are appreciating the committee that Ssaa drafted this. And we are talking on the drafted document. There's nothing as good as working on what is already laid down. We are just trying to improve it. For us to move, let us work with what we have. And then as years comes, we'll be having time to review and improve. In that way, we will move. Those are my comments. Thank you.
now I beg to take notes. After the report, the new team, Patrick, give your private number. My brother will need your private number because you are part of our team. If there's any other legal mind or anybody who is also interested in helping this, let's pool those resources. Let's have 5-6 people talk through this, and then come up with the amendments, sections that we're changing, adjusting, and then we adopt that. But as a constitutional lawyer, as a constitutional lawyer, for the first constitutional lawyer, I can't use the word lawyer, I'll be arrested. As a draft constitutional group member, that is the lowest I can be, group member, I would be doing an injustice to my group, which is composed of 2 senior members of this team. The chief whip, the current chief whip, I don't know why, Washington, and myself. We have worked tirelessly to put this document where it is. You have perfected it. Now, the next team with us also, because we have to tell them what were we thinking about when we were doing this, yeah? What were you thinking about there? So we will add that one. Now it will come back as a very nice document. But for us to move on from today, if we don't say anything that we accept what we have with amendments, we have done everything in futility. That means that this cannot be used. It's just another paperwork. So I will put a question. I don't know who will take that to make sure they have answered. And I live in a country where justice is beyond, or a region. Yeah, Akuna, even the thought of corrupting me will put you 6 months in jail. So Akuna corruption, just the thought of, just the thinking that you can corrupt somebody is enough to give you 6 months in jail. So we want to leave here by saying, as it is, with the suggested or proposed amendment, the lawyers can always talk that they know how to do it. We adopt the current alumni constitution, draft constitution, for the purposes of registering Chulaimbo Secondary School Alumni Association. Mukisema you are endorsed it, we are going to continue working. If you say you don't endorse it, so let's try and do that. I don't know how you do it structurally. What was yes and do this? Who is helping us?
The lawyer. You'll get someone to talk first. Then another person second. Then now you ask, is there any objection?
See, just stand here and do that. I sit here. Try that. You see.
I wanted to
try because we need to help each other.
Okay, thank you.
I'm also another just.
Good afternoon, everyone again. Just like
sorry for the interruption. And I know Kaji Chan, the washroom, Mara staff near administration block, go to get Kaja. In case you feel pressed, you pick what it.
Let me correct that. For the constitution members, for during the constitution amendment discussions, there. That blue one. And today you're allowed to cross by that vehicle. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you so much. I was saying I really want to thank you so much, Team Fred, for putting up the document and also taking us through. Some of us we are internalizing. I know people are. It's like when someone preaches, not all of us get it at the same time. There are some of us who will see it at night. You are free to contact him so that your thought, your feeling is captured. Now to move the moment, we will need a proposer, then a probable seconder. Then after that, we'll only hear someone who has a different opinion. One as it is, who is making a proposal. Yes. So you take, because they are drafters, you tell your name, your year of exit.
Thank you. I'm called Peter Otieng Janja. I came in here at Chulaimbo 1991, and I think completed in 1994. So I'm proposing the constitution, adoption of the constitution, and I expect that other members to support it. Thank you.
Thank you. We get someone a second. Adoption of the constitution. Okay. So you will tell your details for the back.
No, nobody has joined. It's always nice, yeah. No, everything